Yes, people, welcome back to rating your saves, the saves you sent me on Football Manager. Let's stop wasting time and let's get into save number 1. And for the first save, we have Daniel, and he says this might be one of the best squads I've ever built. I typically only do a long-term save in each FM, as I love when the game becomes regen only. I took over the club in the National League South. I chose Boreham Wood because they had a great youth facility, but my focus has been mainly on finding great young players and developing them. This approach has paid off as I'm now the best team in the world. Pay special attention to Fredrik Jensen, who might be the best player I've ever managed in FM. Right, we'll definitely be looking at Fredrik Jensen, but let's have a look at the overall save first and foremost. Straight into the overview before we move into his job history, and we can see he has bought players for £1.84 billion, 200 players. Sold 142 players and brought in a whopping 2.95 billion. That's almost 3 billion.
I'm rich.
Yeah, this guy is going crazy with the youth to glory, buying young players and selling them. We can see it already. Right, let's have a look at his highest fee spent. 160 mil on this fella right here, and wow, 160 mil. Al Ittihad currently wanting me 6'6" centre back. Look at those attributes right there. Them physicals are mental. 30 years old from Czech Republic. Bought him from PSG for 160. PSG bought him from Czech for 3.8 million. So they made a great profit there. But hey, he's helped them win a lot of trophies. All right, let's have a look at the player he sold for the most. Nicolas Pozzo is a goalkeeper who he sold to Barcelona for 95 million after buying him for 11.5 million from Argentina Racing Club. Looks like a very good goalkeeper. Doesn't enjoy big matches, we can see here. So probably makes sense to get rid of him, but probably done well. Can't really complain. Transfer value is 200 million. You're definitely not buying him back. But let's move quickly back into and let's see what trophies he's actually won going into his job history. Right, the journey from the National League. We can see that in the National League, he got promoted, or he won the league, sorry, came second, got promoted. Second season, won League 2. Third season, won League 3. Fourth season, was in the playoffs, didn't win it, obviously. Then in season number 5, he won the championship. So literally 5 years, 6 years to get to the Prem. First season, 9th, then 10th, 3rd, 5th. Then he finally won the Premier League after being there for 5 years. Carabao Cup and Premier League double, can't complain. Then he won a quintuple, 5 flipping trophies. Wowee, mate. 3 trophies after that, then 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So yeah, just pure domination. Once he won the Premier League, he didn't stop there and just carried on winning it. But one thing we need to check, guys, we need to make sure he hasn't used this in-game editor. So let's go to FM, go down to game status, and we can see in-game editor allowed, yes. In-game editor used, no. So perfect. That hasn't been used, guys. So before anyone says otherwise.
Respect, 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 man, respect.
Otherwise, right. It's time to look at his favorite player, or the best player he says he's ever managed. His name is Fredrik Jensen, a striker at Boreham. 6'4" striker, them physicals, every single physical is green, guys. Of course he deserves the flipping number 9 shirt when he's putting up these kind of attributes.
Perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Right, let's go to the history and see his stats. 40 Premier League goals in 29 games. 23 starts, sits off the bench. I understand now. I understand it, bro. 7.95. Fredrik is an absolute baller. Has he won anything crazy in terms of individual awards? Let's see. FIFA's best men's player. FIFA Ballon d'Or. Right, let's click that. Fredrik Jensen won the Ballon d'Or, and second place was another Boreham Wood player, Pedro Pereira. Right, and then we look again, and Matthias Hoffer won it before that. Then Sergio Mas was second before that. Then Hoffer was third before. Yeah, I can't lie, he's been involved in all of these Ballon d'Or shouts. Right, let's have a look at some of these other players, because Jensen is an absolute baller, I'll be honest. He's probably got so much more awards, we could probably sit there looking at all the time. Let's have a look at Pedro Pereira. Another advanced forward, so his other striker is dominating too, coming second in the Ballon d'Or. And last season, he played 17 games in the Prem, scoring 18 goals. He played 14 free off the bench, so he probably did get injured or something, or maybe just didn't get enough minutes. 26 matches starts, 7 off the bench, and 33 goals in all comps. So that's Pedro Pereira. Let's go down to Matthias Hoffer, who's been involved in the Ballon d'Or for about 3 years in a row. Let's see what he was doing. So he's a winger who can actually play up front too. He looks very good. Obviously, he's not probably the greatest forward player with the 15 finishing, but on the wing, he's a very good player, especially that crossing. Physicals look good as well, 5'9". We go to the history quick, and we can see he played 20 games in the Prem, 10 goals, 10 assists, more than that. And the same thing season before. Season before that, done very well. Season before that, 9 and 18. I understand why. And you picked him up on a free transfer from from Freiburg. They must be fuming to lose a player of this ilk on a free transfer. That is insane. Right, let's have a look at his formations quickly. We can see he's got a three formations. He plays a 4-2-3 on one of them, bog standard. Next one, he plays a 4-3-3, bog standard. And then 4-4-2, Brexit style, no nonsense, football. Bang it up the pitch and do what we need to do, mate. You know what I mean? 4-4-2 and all of that. Right, this looks decent, I'll be real. I've not actually used a 4-4-2 in so long in FM, so it'll be nice to see what this looks like, man. Right, let's move over quickly into the financial situation before we look at some of these players' contracts and stuff. Oh my God. He has £955 million in the bank. Next season's guaranteed transfer budget will be 500 mil. That is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. This might be one of the best saves I've seen ever, really and truly. You have to be a club legend here. Daniel is most definitely a club legend. And there's a couple other players who are club legends like Jose Romero. He's another great player, 300k a week. And he was bought for 97 million whilst Nice bought him for 18.25. Let's have a look at any other ones who might still be here. And that is it. No, Fredrik Jensen is an icon. And then we've got some other players in there as well. Sergio Mas, that was another player who was on the Ballon d'Or list. I can't remember where he placed. But Man United wanted him, 27 years old. He picked him up for 33 million from Sporting. And he's been a mainstay in the team ever since then. Oh yeah, looks like a very good winger. Attacking winger, defensive winger, whatever you want to put him as, he can do the job really and truly. The tackling is a bit shaky, but hey, it doesn't really matter in my opinion, man. Right, this player looks very, very good. The team looks very, very good. Let's have a look at the development center or the under 21s and see if there's any good young players in there. There must be, because this guy, playing time is alienated. What's going on with him? Right, he looks like a very good young player. 19 years old, this is what he looks like, wonder kid status. Paid 65 million for him, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Break the bank for one of the best players in the world. 6'6" as well, so a very good striking option. And as long as he develops, he's gonna take over from Fredrik Jensen when he decides to leave the club, if he ever decides to leave the club. And I'm guessing he just got loads of players on loan, like literally his whole under 21s here we can see is literally out on loan. Let's go straight to the development center and loans and have a look at the loan army he has built. There's a crazy amount of players on loan. He's loaned players to Manchester United. That is how good this Boreham Wood side is. He has loaned players to Manchester United. Manchester United are loaning players from Boreham Wood. Can you imagine that? £12 million from Slavia Prague and sells him, or loan to Espanyol, loan to Fulham, loan to Leicester. 2 years, done nothing, well, 8 games, then loan to Manchester United. The guy has 19 finishing, 18 first touch. Those attributes are ridiculous. Acceleration, pace. He could easily be in his team and he's not even using him. Right, and one last thing I want to check is the golden ball. Oh no, we checked the golden ball. That's it, really, innit? Champions League golden boot, Fredrik Jensen, obviously. That season before that, no one. And the season before that, Pedro Pereira. And that's been it, really. Pedro Pereira's been involved in like 3 or 4 years on the spin. So yeah, that's decent, man. Right, listen, we could sit here looking at this save all day. Daniel, you've done excellent work at Boreham Wood. 2039, well done, son. You have cooked this save, man. Right, for the rating, I think it would be an injustice. I think it would be illegal. I think it would be a crime to give you nothing less than a 10. I know it's the first save that we've literally looked at, but come on. Look at that save, man. Well done, Daniel. You've done very well. But before we go anywhere, people, YouTube have told me that 80% of you guys watch my videos and you are not subscribed. Guys, I'm on the road to 20,000 subscribers, people. Please, can we hit the sub button right now? It does genuinely help a lot. Don't forget to leave a like as well and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Daniel's save and if you think that you have a save better than him. And if you think you have a save that's better than Daniel's, well, go into the link in my description, join my Discord, go over to Rating Your Saves and simply drop your save file alongside a paragraph and you might feature in the next episode of Rating Your Saves. Right, save number 2. And for save number 2, we are with Alfie. He says, this is my first year playing FM. And after a couple decent saves, I decided to start staying with Maidstone United after they beat Ipswich in the FA Cup. I took the club from the National League South all the way to winning the Premier League multiple times and winning the Champions League before 2040. My favourite player from the save is my Surinamese, flipping heck, mate, that was hard, midfielder powerhouse, Daniel Kwesi, who was with me from League 2 all the way to the Premier League, then unfortunately had to get sold because he wasn't good enough. Other favoured players include Matteo Gorich, probably butchered that too, Diego Mauricio, and Mauricio Carolino. However, the club could be in serious trouble because the finances are so bad. I would advise you to look yourself. Right, after fighting the English language, here we are, guys, with Alfie Save. Let's get straight into the overview and have a look at what's going on here, bro. Right, in terms of that, he's bought 92 players, bought players for 1.32 million, sold players for 1.4. So he is still in a profit. This is one of the players he did actually mention. So we'll look at the player he sold for the most first before we look at the player he obviously mentioned, saying one of his favoured players. Right, let's go. Right, 30 years old Rashid Hamad. And he bought him from UAE, clearly. How much did he pay for him? Bought him for 5.5 million, sold him for 107 million. 2 seasons later is ridiculous. Barcelona playing a premium of 100 mil. All you had to do was get there 2 years before and you would have saved yourself a flipping fortune. However, that is some great transfer dealings. He looks like a very good player, man. Currently only worth 24 million, but 30 years old, 140k, 770k a week. Let's have a look at Mauricio Carolino. Ball-winning midfielder, 325k a week. Value is 150 million. Physicals are all green. Mentals are almost all green. And technicals are almost all green. He looks ridiculous. He actually looks like Jude Bellingham, though, when you actually look at the player profile. But yeah, he's crazy. He can play in the number 10, in the midfield, in the 6. Definitely could play centre-back. Definitely could play right back. Definitely could play... he could play... Honestly, he could play wherever you want him to play. He could play, basically. Right, in terms of the history, let's have a look. Benfica's youth academy, then Inter Milan bought him for 112. Then he bought him for 2 seasons later for 135 million. Probably using Barcelona's 100 million to sponsor this transfer right here. But you can see the only thing, he is actually fairly susceptible to injuries. But aside from that, still a very good player, man. Right. One thing I want to check early on is how many trophies he has won. So National League South, started there, then obviously got promoted first season second, then won the National League, then finished 20th in League 2. Wow, so that was a struggle in League 2. Next season finished 4th winning playoffs. Next season got promoted with League 2, got promoted into League 1. League 1 got promoted into Championship, then Championship finished 9th, then finished 10th, then finished 6th, but actually won playoffs, which got him promoted and Manager of the Year. So yeah, he needed that because he wasn't looking like he was really dominating Championship, getting by really and truly. Then we can see obviously Premier League, 13th in the first season, winning FA Cup, then finished 14th, then 12th, then finally winning the Premier League. And then he came second next year after that, winning the Carabao Cup, FA Cup and Community Shield. So domestic treble in terms of cup trophies. Then finishing 3rd, winning the Community Shield and Carabao. Then finally winning the Premier League again and winning the Champions League, so a great double. Then winning the quadruple, and here we are now. Right, listen, at least the save wasn't one of those where he just started winning everything straight away. You can see there was a lot of adversity in this save, which definitely probably made it a lot more immersive, a lot more interpersonal, man. Right, let's get into the tactics and see exactly what he has going on here, man. Tactic number 1 is a 4-2-3-1. You can never go wrong with a 4-2-3-1. If ever in doubt, bring the 4-2-3-1 out, I always say. Anyways, second, 4-3-3. That's the tactic for me. I'm in my rhyming bag today. But yeah, that's a decent tactic. You can't complain about either or. Just kind of fits most teams, most modern day teams as well, innit? So yeah, decent. Yeah, let's have a look at some of these players, man. I'm gonna go by the amount paid. Right, Suleiman, Nigerian winger, who can also play up front. 5'7", I would not be putting him up front respectfully, but he looks like a very good player in terms of the physicals, agility 20 as well, and his flair's 19, so you know what kind of skills he's doing to those players. You move over to the history, he picked him up for 86 million this season from Real Madrid, who bought him from Antwerp in Belgium for 76 million. So Real Madrid, after how many years? 10 years, making a £10 million profit on him, so they are not complaining on Emeka Suleiman. Right, let's have a look at another player. Oh, he's got Jude Bellingham as well in the team. Flipping heck, bro. 36 years old. This guy's loving Real Madrid players. He picked up Jude on a free transfer this season at 36 years old. He probably saw and said, why the hell would I not sign Jude? He even gave him the number 22 shirt. Fair play, man. That's lit still. You can see he's a leader, legendary midfielder, obviously. And yeah, man, great player once again. Let's have a look at another player who's the third highest in his club. And this is one of the, well, we looked at Carrilero. This is another player that he did mention in his opening paragraph. And I understand why he mentioned him as well. Flipping it. 24 years old, the number 9 on his back, 27 goals in 36 games, 23 goals in 28, 17 in 37. So not crazy numbers, but 42 million from Union Berlin. And yeah, been his best striker clearly at his squad. Physicals are mental. The player traits are beautiful as well. He looks like a very good player. Can play wing, can play 10, can play left wing, can play wing back if you needed it. Wherever you need him, he will facilitate and play essentially. I wouldn't be playing him in defense with that 6 tackling, but yeah, looks like a very good player. Right, time to look at some of the players he mentioned. He mentioned this guy, Donyo Kwasi. He said that this was the player who stayed with him all the way from League 2 to the Premier League, but weren't good enough. Let's have a look at what he done for him. So he picked him up on a free transfer. League 2, 7.22. League 1, 7.05. Championship. He was there. Premier League, he was still there. Then he realized, yeah, this guy's probably not gonna help us win the Premier League. So it's time to let go. He sold him to Netherlands for 2.2 million. Right, let's hold on. Before I look at other players, it would be very interesting. Donyo probably should be a cult hero, a club icon somewhere. He should be around here. And yes, he is actually a club icon. He deserves that. Donyo is there, and that is respect to Donyo, man. Right, is Alfie even part? Okay, Alfie is part of the club legends, thank the Lord. Do you know sometimes in FM it's like, they don't want to give you your flowers. So I thought they weren't trying to give my guy Alfie his flowers. And he said that the team's probably in some financial difficulty. We can see it right here, that the balance is minus 153. Let's actually get that open, finances. And his transfer budget is 0. He is currently overspending as well. So yeah, it's not looking the greatest, but in terms of the financial status, it does say it's okay. So probably a couple player sales and you'll be all right, man. I don't think the club's going into financial disarray as of yet. So don't you worry about that. We can see his facilities, state-of-art facilities, state-of-the-art youth, everything 2020, and obviously makes sense. And Alfie is actually Nigerian by nationality. So yeah, some of those players, obviously Suleiman, probably makes sense for him, innit? Bringing in some of his brothers, maybe his cousin, who knows, mate. Right, the final player he did actually mention in the paragraph was Diego Mauricio, who's still at Maidstone, and he is a Brazilian winger. And we can see he looks very good, wanted by Brentford right now. He picked him up for 45 million from Flamengo, brought him to the Premier League, and he's been a mainstay in the team. Last season, he had a spectacular season, playing 37 games in the Prem, started 36 of them. He scored 23 goals and got 13 assists. So basically a goal or assist every single game, barring one. 7 player of the matches too as well. So he is not complaining about that. But yeah, the team looks very, very good. Let's have a look at the development center and see if we got any young prospects coming through. So we got Charlie, a 16-year-old attacking mid, straight from Maidstone. Obviously came through the youth intake. Looks very good. Potential looks very good. Currently operating at Vanarama National League South level at 16. That's good. So loan him out. If them physicals can develop, then he will probably be a decent player. Let's have a look at his under 18 to see if anyone pops up. We got this guy here, who was the hot prospect when we looked in the club info, and he looks pretty decent. 16 years old. He's currently operating at Vanarama National League South level, and yeah, once again, just decent. Obviously, you can't really tell too much at 16, but as long as he gets some training, he should develop well, man. Let's have a look if he's got anyone out on loan. Yep, he's got a load of players out on loan. We're gonna check the first one, Nicholas. 18 years old. Yeah, he's not that good for 18 in my opinion. Obviously, bought him for 5 million. It's a bit hefty, but you probably will be able to sell him for a bit more than 5. So you can make some profit. Let's look at this guy right here. Now this guy looks good. Oh, he's 30 years old. Obviously, he's flipping good. You loaned him out, probably tried to sell him. Free transfer, probably tried to sell him. No one wanted to buy him, so you have to do a loan spell. On a free, you're not really complaining, are you? Physicals are good, mentals. You can probably do a role in your squad, but you probably got so many players that don't matter. Listed for 26 million, and you've got him on 250k a week. Hey, maybe that's why your club's in disarray at the moment in terms of transfers, but hey, it is what it is, isn't it? Free transfers, you can't really complain about those. Right, we'll check another player here. Fullback, 21 years old, currently operating at a League 1 level. Yeah, not the greatest. You probably paid for him, right? Oh no, youth intake. Oh yeah, this is straight profit, and you're not complaining about him. And we'll check this Bournemouth player, out on loan to Bournemouth, 21 years old, currently operating at championship level. Bournemouth are in the championship, so that's fine with them. He looks decent in my opinion. Loan from the youth intake. Oh man, So you guys get some great players from youth intakes. I need this. I'll be honest, man. Yeah, it looks very good. I can't fault it. Obviously, the finances are crazy though. Let's have a look at the Golden Ball and see if any of his players have won the Ballon d'Or, which is the Golden Ball. Right, we have Matteo, obviously 23 years old. And then we have Diogo Mauricio, who came second. So 2 of his own players in there. Season before that, no one there. Season before that, no one there. Season before that, no one there. Yeah, because this is when he started, this current season when he kind of started doing absolute bits and dominating, obviously, in terms of the job history and winning multiple trophies and stuff like that. So that's when they really get called for Ballon d'Or. But yeah, great save, I'll be honest with you, man. Right, for the final save rating for Alfie's save, I'm gonna have to give Alfie's save an 8 in total.
Respect, 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 man, respect.
It's a very good save once again. The fact that you came from the trenches, from the Vanarama National South to the Premier League, congrats to you. Like I said, I like the save a lot because there's a lot of adversity. You didn't win the Prem straight away. You actually had to grind to get there. You had a player that you love so much, got rid of him and all of that. The story is beautiful, but I would love to see a bit more trophies maybe. I'd love to see you get further in the save, and I'd love to see you develop some of these wonder kids that you've obviously bought for cheap as well in the future. But very good save nevertheless. Let's move on to save number 3. Save number 3, and it's Sadiq, and he says, Sir Alex save with children of former and current players coming in as regents. I signed Ronaldo Jr., Messi, Suarez, Ferdinand, Ramos, and most recently an Alisson regent. Underrated star is a guy called Estrella, and he is now hitting 30, so best time to show him off before he declines. Halfway through the journey and just won the Club World Cup. Some homegrown players are featuring more into my team, and it almost feels like Man United's academy team that came through with Beckham, etc. So the class of 92 he's referring to. Right, let's have a look at Sadiq's Nottingham Forest save. I'm not gonna lie, this already is a good save idea. The fact that you've got former players and current players, sons and whatever, coming through, it sounds good. It sounds like something, it's a bit different, you know what I mean? It's not too serious. It's a bit of a different type of save. Right, let's have a look at the history. Straight into the overview, we can see he has bought players for 1.29, sold players for 1.93. So that is what it is. He's got like 600k profit already, or sorry, 600 million profit, not K. And then we can see the players he spent the most money on. We can see Ibrahim Samgara, obviously Nottingham Forest, sold him for 73 million pounds in the year 2025. I think that's this season. Then end up getting him back for 2 games. He only made 2 appearances and then he retired, I believe. Right, we have a look at the player he spent the most money on is, Declan Hollabem. I'm probably gonna butcher so many names in the save, guys, but yeah, bear with. Right, he bought him for 92 million pounds from Brighton. You know what Brighton do already in terms of their academy scouting, and they got him from Coventry for 8.75 million pounds. It's like a very good winger, attacking winger, maybe a bit of a defensive winger or wide playmaker, wherever you really want to play him. He will facilitate and play there. 27 years old, English talent as well, so definitely got the homegrown stuff. So that's good for Nottingham Forest and Sadiq. We move straight over into the job history. Let's have a look at what he has won, man. So if you guys are not familiar with the Alex Ferguson challenge, what it essentially is, you take a team from the bottom of the Premier League after you simulated until a specific date. I believe it's November the 12th or 26th or something. Someone in the comments will let us know. And then you take over that team and try and get them out of the relegation zone. That's literally it. So after being in relegation, you finish 12th, then you finish 12th again, then finish 7th, then finish 12th, picking up the Europa League and the FA Cup. Obviously, he probably got Europa League when he finished 7th here. Then he finished 4th. He won the Super Cup and the FA Community Shield. So winning 2 pre-season trophies essentially, and that was it. Then the next season after that, he won the Premier League finally and won an FA Cup. Then 5th, then 5th, then 7th, winning Europa League again. Then 2nd, winning the Super Cup and the European American Club Challenge, whatever the hell that is. Then he won the Premier League again finally, and the champs after how many years? And then he won 6 trophies in 1 season. Then 4 trophies, then 3 trophies, and he's picked up 1 trophy already, the Club World Cup that he said he has finally won in the save. It's time to look at some of these players and his team. Let's go into the tactics. What the hell is this tactic here? But finally, we've seen a different tactic, guys.
Nico, Vini, Dino, Gundo, you pass the ball to find that. You pass the ball because they jump. And when they jump, the space is here. They don't jump, he's alone.
It's a 3-2-5. Okay, I understand what you're trying to do here. It's essentially just a 3-2-5, but this is a wing back, so he's gonna get further forward. But yeah, it's a 3-2-5. with a DM by himself, just vibing out. But we can tell it's working because we're seeing a whole load of partnerships all over the pitch. And like he said, we're seeing some names: Messi, Suarez, Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., Rio Ferdinand, and Sergio Ramos Jr. And Estrella is a player he did actually mention. So let's have a look at him straight away. Estrella, 29 years old, slowly going to be on the decline, susceptible to injuries at the moment. Injury rate is very high, wanted by Liverpool, Lille, then all the Owls. So we go over into the history and we can see he picked him up for £12 million from Portugal. Great business that. And yeah, the mentals are ridiculous. Physicals are probably a bit better, but still very, very good. And his technical level is redonkulous as well. An elite attacking midfielder, can play up front, 10, right back, DM, wherever you want to play him, basically, he can play. The maddest thing is that he's a solo DM with only 12 tackling, but when your team's this good, doesn't even matter. We got Pasta as a right back, inverting, 14 tackling as well. We're gonna have to look at some of the games just to see how the hell he's been winning with a tactic like this. Right, tactic number 2. At least none of the tactics are familiar tactics that we've seen. We've got a 4-2-1, basically a 4-3-3. Yeah, let's just call it a 4-3-3 in it. Volante is gonna bomb forward. Suarez is to the right, I don't know why. Centre mid on attack is gonna get forward into that gap. So yeah, that makes some sense. So it's basically a 4-3-3 anyways. Then inverted wing back's gonna invert into that midfield. Right, final tactic. It's a 4-2-4 asymmetric. Let's see if it's a crazy one again. And of course, it's a bit mental. It's almost the same as the first one, I believe, but he just gone even more crazy with it. Bombed someone further forward. Yeah, he just moved one of the attackers forward in this formation, really and truly, and then left the player as a solo, sits as a DM on support. So yeah, 3 crazy tactics. I mean, at least we've seen some different tactics. We're gonna look at some of the players, but I just gotta look at all these guys right now. Right, Suarez, obviously Luis Suarez. I don't know if it's a regen or his son or whatever. I don't think it's his son. Nah, it's just a regen of Suarez, essentially. He is 23 years old, and he did actually come through the team. Suarez came through, so he picked him up for £1.9 million. Wowee. Looking at Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., I'm not too sure if this Ronaldo or his son. It is actually his son. We can see father is Cristiano Ronaldo. So we can look at him, and we can see he picked him up for £38 million from Sporting. And yeah, he's had some great seasons. 15 plus goals in every single Premier League campaign, barring 2. We didn't even look at Suarez's numbers. Let me have a look at that quickly. 28 games, 18. Yeah, man. Suarez doing what he needs to do. He went out on loan. Then we have Messi in the team. So Messi, Ronaldo, Suarez. Can you imagine a team with those 3 players in there? He picked him up for 29 million from Barcelona, La Masia. First season, played 22 games, 4 goals. Second season, 8 games. Then loaned him out to Bayern Munich. And then boom, got into the team, and he's just been doing what he needs to do since. Last season, a ridiculous campaign of 15 goals and 18 assists in only 23 games, 19 starts, man. Wow. He went crazy that year. And then he's just got a whole load of regens. You can see Sergio Ramos, obviously Sergio Ramos coming through Sevilla as well. Picked him up for 49.5 million. And yeah, he's been a very good centre-back for him, obviously, 6'1". Then we've got Ferdinand, being Rio Ferdinand, but it says Tate Ferdinand. Some other Ferdinand, who's apparently his brother. Lord knows what's going on there. But yeah, we can see that he picks him up from West Ham as well, obviously where Rio came from originally. £87 million, so a very big signing for him. But yeah, wow, look at the player. Physicals are mental, height is mental, but obviously it's Rio Ferdinand reincarnated. So yeah, very good player. And let's have a look at what other players are in there. He did mention Rooney Bargi being with him from the ground up from the first season. Picked him up for 9.25 million. And yeah, obviously Rooney Bargi just doing what he had to do for him. One of the best wonder kids, in my opinion, in the game. Insane numbers throughout, doing what he needs to do. Right, let's have a look and see if who's the club icons and stuff like that. Is he a club icon? He is a club legend, so that is good. Thiago Almada was another one who was actually a club icon for him. So he bought him for 18 million, sold him for 90 mil to Chelsea, fair play. Another one, Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. is there. Rooney Bargi is obviously there. And who was the other one he mentioned being one of the key players? Archie Gray, Rafael Luiz. So he did actually mention Archie Gray and Rafael Luiz. So let's have a look at those players quickly. Rafael Luiz, he's at Nantes now from Benfica's academy, bought him for 500k, sold him for 79 million pounds. You can see how many games he played in the Premier League: 33, 32, 28, 30. So one of his main players. Obviously, first season he loaned him, well, 2 seasons later he loaned him out because he probably wasn't playing him enough, and then came back from loan, started doing bits, so put him into the team and became his main midfielder or DM. Let's have a look at Archie Gray, who's now at Barcelona and is worth 144 million pounds. We can see he picked up Archie Gray for 25 million from Leeds. And yeah, once again was mainstay as soon as he came in. 29, 28, 32, 33, 33. Then end up selling him for 48 million, even though he had him for 10 years. So he's not complaining about that. Still very, very good. And if you watched him in real life for Spurs, he's very, very good as well. Playing on the wing, playing at wing back, playing at center back, playing left back, DM. Yeah, crazy player if I'm being honest, man. Right, let's have a look at some of this development center stuff, see what he's got going on in terms of the loans. Not really got a loan army as we can see, but he's got under 21s and he is in full control of those. So yeah, you can know what type of player he is already. From when you're controlling the under 18s, I know exactly what you are. You are a football manager sweat. So I respect it, man. Right, under 18s, let's see who pops up. We got any names that we know in terms of well-known players? No, let's see if Neymar's in the game, because if guys are popping up as regions, you may as well check. Is Neymar in the game? No, he's still there as a retired player. He maybe got a different name. I don't know how you even check that, really and truly. I think you have to go to the players, to the team they were originated at and have a look through there and see if they pop up. Lord knows, but yeah, looks decent in terms of facilities and stuff. 19, 18, 20, 20. And yeah, man, he's got a young player, hot prospect. 15 years old from the academy, currently operating at a National League level, which is good for 15 for sure. Obviously not played no games, but probably going to keep him in the team and loan him out in some future. Now, I said I need to see how this tactic played out. I've gone back to the previous season, as you can see here. Club World Cup, he was dominating teams, beat Real Madrid 4-1 in the final. But that is not one. Let's have a look and see if he used that tactic in the final. Yeah, he did actually use that tactic in the final. And Real Madrid's team, we can still see Hazard, which I'm guessing is Hazard. Real Madrid got him on a free. Leo Hazard, maybe it's not. I don't know, he's Belgium as well, so I would assume it's Hazard. Maybe not, being 5'11", but who knows? Arda Güler is still in the team as well, at 32 years old. So is Camavinga at 34 years old. So is Jude Bellingham. So you can see that the Real Madrid team is still very, very good. To slap them 4-0 in the final, Suarez scoring a hat-trick. With this insane tactic, we have to see how some of the goals played out. Right, so here we are. Real Madrid did actually score the first goal. It's Arda Güler on the ball, and he tries to whip it and he can't. Plays it in, and it's a goal. Right. Then Nottingham Forest get angry, and the comeback starts, and this is what it looks like in-game with this 5-guy forward. Wow. Fernando is flipping fast. Low cross, 3 strikers in, quick tap in. Move over to the next highlight, and it's the inverted wing back, past our bombing, whips it in hard and low, and look how many players are in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Obviously, he crossed it. So 6 were in the box, and 1 was even on the edge of the box. Attacking football. Here's another goal right here. Similar. Look how many players are forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bang. 4 players in the box. He ain't passing it. Suarez smashes it at home. Final goal. Messi whips it in from a corner, and it's Suarez with the header. And that was it, really. Then there's many games we can see here. 5-1 versus Leeds away. Beating Liverpool 8-0, beating Man City 5-1. They did have a player sent off, so yeah. But look at that, guys. Beat Arsenal 6-0, beat Villa 6-0, and then beat Liverpool 8-0. 20 goals scored in 3 games is crazy work. This tactic, I'll be honest, I might have to try it out at some point. It is a crazy tactic. And for the final ratings, we are here with Sadiq's save. Sadiq, I'm gonna have to give you a 7. You've done absolute bits.
We cannot replace him. We cannot.
The only thing that why I couldn't give you a higher rating is purely because you have all the regens coming through of obviously crazy players. So it's quite easy to know who you can sign, who not to sign. Doesn't take anything away from you. It's a great save idea, like I said. Not too serious, just a bit of fun. So I do like the save, but yeah, that obviously brings down the rating. Right, guys, and that has been an episode of Rating Your Saves. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure that you are leaving a like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you are following me on all the social media platforms. The links are in the description. Make sure you join the Discord, and if you think you've got a better save than this, then head over to the Discord and send your save ASAP pronto. I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video.